Hey, Hickok 45 here. You see what we have here. We're fortunate enough to have 3 of the, I would say, premier competition polymer firearms. You know, the Glock 34, the XDM 525, and the M&P Pro series in 9mm. So these all 3 are pretty popular on the, well, the competition circuit, the range circuit, people plinking circuit, even self-defense circuit. You know, so, but these are 3 firearms that are used quite a lot. You know, the Glock might be the premier firearm of these 3 in terms of numbers out there in IDPA or USPSA, not sure. GSSF, you know, Glock Sports Shooting Foundation matches. But all 3 are made pretty much for, I say for that purpose, but they're also just great shooters. These are pretty much stock firearms too. The Glock has had the sights replaced. It does come with an adjustable rear sight for elevation and windage, and the owner has put night sights on it. Okay, and he put the Tough Guy backplate there, so that's a good reminder when you pull it up. And that, other than that, that is stock. And the XDM M 525, this is mine, and it is stock. I haven't done anything to it. I was going to put some Talon grips on it, but I just thought I had some, and I don't. I have them on the 45 caliber model, just never have gotten them on this. And so that's stock. And then the M&P Pro series has Talon grips installed, rubberized Talon grips, and the owner put an Apex trigger in it to improve the trigger a little bit. And otherwise, it is stock. So just so you know what we're dealing with here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is shoot each one of these and just do a little compare, contrast. It's probably not too scientific. You know me, you don't expect that, do you? Give you my impressions of these 3, and just in terms of shooting in a variety of ways. I'll give you some of the specs, but you know, you can find anything you want to know about these firearms a click away. But we'll give you some of the key features and differences, okay? And any one of these firearms, if I were going to launch into a year's worth of serious competition, to say, you know what, I'm going to get back into competition, heck with making videos, and I'm just going to go play IDPA or USPSA, I would have a hard time choosing right now which of these firearms I would use. I would have to do a lot of what I'm going to do here in a minute and sort it out and figure out which one I would want to use, to tell you the truth. Because any one of these could make you a winner. Really, a big time winner. Any one of these could make you a loser, right? It's mainly in the shooter. They could be like, you know, I'm not really fond of the hump on the Glock. Well, I would work that out. I would modify the grip. I might even put different sights on it. I don't know. I could turn that into a gun that I could shoot well with. I know that for a fact. I could do that. Okay, however I shoot it today. Same with the XDM. I have shot that gun enough, and I mean, it just shoots well. It just feels good in the hand. I remember, I think at least in one video, I just couldn't miss with it. It just, as I recall, just felt good. And the M&P Pro series, that one, great trigger, and same thing. Video we did recently, I couldn't seem to miss with it. Any one of them, you know that I love Glocks, and I tend to shoot a Glock pretty well on a good day. And so I know the Glock would work, I know that would work, and I know the M&P would work. And any of them would work for you, all right? So that doesn't maybe give you what you're going to want to hear. You're probably not going to hear me say, hey, after we shoot today, you need to choose that one or that one. What I'm going to do is start with the Glock, and I've got 5 mags loaded for each one. Try not to go beyond that. And 115 grain, just, in fact, all of these mags are loaded with, I meant to bring a box out here, UMC, you know, the big yellow boxes. I had one of those at 250 rounds, and it's not known for being the best ammo. If we run out, I've got some Blazer and some Federal Champion. So we're shooting low-end ammo. That is what I would consider bulk ammo. So if we have a bobble, you know, we're not shooting premium ammo. But I know that all 3 of these firearms function very, very well. I don't think I've had any problems with any of them. So we are shooting that ammo, 115 grain, and we'll see how it does, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shoot some different ranges and just kind of play. You know, it's not too scientific, but I'll give you my impressions. And I have, or given impressions as I have shot each one of these firearms individually in various videos through the past months or years. But I've not pulled or had all three of these firearms out on the same day. So I don't know, I might learn something myself, because actually I haven't fired a shot today through any handgun. So this is all brand new. I've got today I have my whole standby Glock 30 Don Hume holster, and all of these guns will fit in it. It's a little bit of a stretch on the XD-M because it's got kind of a thicker from top to bottom slide there, but it will work for all of them. So I want some kind of holster I can just stick each one in. Okay, not exactly a competition holster or anything. All right, I'm gonna shoot a little distance. I might warm up here a little bit at close range and just shoot a little bit. Get used to the Glock. Okay, Glock 34, very, very popular in competition. Let's just start with a cowboy. See if I remember where to hold the sights on. Oh, that's right. I remember it shoots a little bit above point of aim, I believe. Try a green or a orange. Yeah. Okay, pretty nice trigger and reset, of course, as you always get. Yeah. I like the reset on the Glock, I really do. It's pretty good. Okay, let's just go on across the hill and take a couple of gong shots. Okay, I see it ringing across the top, and I was holding on the bottom. That's just because of these particular sights. Most Glocks you hold right on where you want the bullet to impact. Well, you hold low on that red plate. Take a couple on it. Yeah, there we go. I had to bring it down some. Yeah, that aim in the dirt makes it a little bit harder. With stock sights or maybe some different sights, I would recommend possibly for competition. Although you're not usually shooting at 70 yards in competition. Let me shoot at that ram. Yeah, first one went over, holding out. Okay, feels good. Let's got a little more ammo. Let's do a little right here close. Load him up. And I have one magazine left up there. Okay. All right. As I've said, I don't like the hump on the Glock. It's an awkward feel on the Glock 17 grip. If I think of any more excuses, I'll throw those out too. Speed load, I forgot. Oh, lost that plate. Okay, I'm going to reholster. Feels like a Glock, imagine that. I think now I'm going to put a few on paper over here. I don't shoot a lot of paper, but I thought I'd just add that to the mix here. Yeah, I had one more loader magazine. Okay, that's good. Let's oh, I'm not going to shoot fast, I'm not going to shoot slow, I'm just going to, I'll get that first target up there on the top marked Glock 34. And if I hold right in the center, it's going to shoot a little high. I'll try to hold a little bit below the bullseye, take a few shots. All right. Okay, feels pretty good. Let's shoot a couple on the tree. I've got to remember to hold just a little bit low with these sights. Good shooting gun. What can I say? It's a Glock. Okay, we'll save a couple of rounds there in case I want to shoot it again. I emptied 4 magazines. All right, $95 worth of ammo, right? Okay, so that's your Glock 34. Feels pretty good. Glocks always have a good trigger. This trigger is, it might be a little heavier for what you would like if you want to be a grandmaster shooter. I don't know. It's but it's got a nice crisp break, and I'd be fine with it. It's a good trigger. Glocks are known for having a pretty good reset, and you know, when you click, reset right there, it's back there. So not bad, not bad. And it's a Glock. Okay, just lay it up there. And let's shoot the Springfield. Now, one thing I didn't say with the, you know, your standard Glock mag holds 17 rounds. The Glock 17 there. So now the one thing about the XD M525 magazines hold 19 rounds. So you got 19 plus 1. That would be one area where the XDM, you know, has an advantage. Okay, a couple extra rounds. Now you can also see the reason it's a little taller than the others. We'll do a little comparison, but it's the grip's a little bit longer, you know, than the other two. Not dramatically, but a little bit longer. And if it's strictly a range gun, competition gun, or whatever, not a carry gun, doesn't really matter. Okay. All right, put them up there. All right, let's get some of these mags in here. Take a few shots with this baby. This gun's fun to shoot too. Okay. All right. Anybody remember where to hold the sights on this one? Okay. I'll take a couple shots here close, and now I've got to be careful because this one doesn't, the trigger guard doesn't get down in there like it ought to. You always want a holster that covers the trigger. Okay. But as long as your finger's straight, you're like this, you're okay. All right. Oh, well, let's just take a couple shots, get the feel for the trigger again here. I haven't shot this in a while, Mr. Cowboy. Feels pretty good. Let's get a 2-liter with it. Yeah. Yeah, pretty nice. I like that. I gotta be careful. I could shoot 1,000 rounds in a heartbeat. Okay. Ooh, more bullets. Chambered up here. Let's go over to Mr. Gong, see if we can put some rounds on him. Oh, the sun is just right. I can see the hits from that Glock over there on the Gong. I'm gonna hold on the bottom, see where they go. Okay, I see that one. See that one. Saw that one in the dirt. Feels good. I like that trigger. Let's try the red plate. Kind of standing in a hole or something. Feels good. Feels good. Let's try a pig. Try a cinder block. There goes shooting too fast as usual. Okay, feels pretty good. I'll take just a couple more shots over there. The turkey, let's knock him over. Yeah, the cinder block again. Slow death. Feels pretty good. All right. I like that. I like that. Let's go down here and draw and shoot a little bit. Looks like I shot down a target again there. All right, we're in a match. We've got to be able to hit something here. We got to draw and shoot. So let's do it. it. Oh, I was going to speed load, didn't do it. Sorry about that. Whole thing will get the job done. Oh, it's way hot. Missed him before. Okay. Yeah, can't beat the XDM either. Can't beat the XDM. And I have to admit, because of that Glock 17 grip, it just doesn't feel as good to me. I'd have to work with that if I was going to, choose that for competition. But the grip feels better on the XDM. All right, now let's go ahead and shoot it on the. Let's see how many rounds I have in this magazine here. That might be about enough. Let's just shoot some paper with this. I believe this one's more directly on. So, all right. Which target says XDM? Okay, center one. Okay, feels pretty good. That's all the mags I have with me. So I guess I shot a lot, didn't I? Yeah, emptied 4, I believe. Sure did. Let me take a couple on the 3, like I did the other gun. Determined to hit that little gopher. Okay, I cleaned up those, didn't I? So that's a good shooting little gun. I tell you, I think even if you're not used to shooting, I don't know, guns like this, that XDM is a good shooter. There's no doubt about it. Nothing like having a grip that feels good to you, though. I tell you, got a good grip and a good trigger. It's a world of difference. By the same token, if your grip just doesn't agree with you, and normally, all of my Glocks, and I have a lot of them, the grip feels good to me. And again, this is a borrowed Glock, and so it just doesn't feel good to me. So I'm kind of struggling against that when I shoot the Glock 34. Most people, I think, don't mind the hump, and it doesn't hit them that way, but it does me. What I think one of the biggest advantage of this particular Glock 34 is when you're bringing this thing up in competition or anytime, you have a reminder on that back plate there to be tough. See, the Pirate. Someone probably sells those with Chuck Norris's face on them. That would be ideal. As soon as you bring the gun up, it's get tough. Okay, how's that? I'll be a comedian in my next life, right? Okay. All right, so that's 2 of them, and again, either one of those would do fine. I just do a little work on the grip. I could take that and enjoy it. And the XDM, I'll tell you, the XDM. One thing I think I mentioned before. I break all the rules, of course, when I shoot. I don't have the pad on my finger on the trigger. I have back in, up here, but it works for me. And the distance right there, I could measure that sometime. We don't get too nerdy today, but this distance right here is important to everybody, and maybe more to me. Where that trigger breaks, I don't know if I've ever tried this before, but the distance right there is an important measurement. Just put it that way. And I suspect on both of these guns, other ones, it's bigger, and it is. See, that won't fit. It won't. It lacks quite a bit, and it just won't. I'm not going to move it because I'm going to look at the other gun. It just won't. That helps. It makes that feel better. And the same with the M&P. I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and where it breaks back here, it's just a little bit bigger. Okay. And for me, that's a little bit of an issue with my large hand, but for most people, I would say it's not, and probably, in fact, it might be a positive, because most people, I have noticed, have normal-sized hands. How's that for a newsflash? Most people are not 6'8", and not quite as goofy as I am. All right, let's move on then to the M&P Pro Series, another very popular competition gun, and just range gun. Plinking gun, defensive firearm. The Pro Series is designed more so, again, for competition. That's the target market, no pun intended, but hey, any firearm you can use for anything, right? Okay, let's take a couple shots with it. Got 5 mags. Do kind of the same thing. This is as much for me as anything. I'm trying to just do the same kinds of shooting with each firearm and get a feel. Tells me a lot. I may learn more than you do from this. Okay. Or none of us may learn anything. Who knows? So let's just take a few shots here close and get a feel for it. Let's go. I'll put it in the holster. This one fits the holster pretty well, I think. Yeah. My universal Don Hume Glock 30 holster. Feels pretty good. We just shot this not too long ago. Let me try the gong. Yeah, still shoots well, I have to say. Pretty nice. Try the red plate over there. See if I can hit in the neighborhood. There we go. Sounded like the neighborhood. Yeah, still shoots well. I'm gonna see if I can still pick off the chicken with it. Knocked him sideways. I don't know if I can hit him now. Let's try a cinder block. Pretty sweet shooter. See if I can hit a ram. I doubt it. I tell you, still a good shooter. I'm gonna go from the holster here. Well, let's go down here and go from the holster. Yeah, next step. Okay. Don't get too close here. Wow, somebody's been shooting at these guys. Look at them. Oops. There I go. I keep forgetting the speed load. Pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Oh, 2 bullets left. Okay. Well, let's try the paper. Yeah, we just did some shooting with this on camera, and it still shoots well. This is, again, a borrowed firearm. Might be a stolen firearm. You think he'll know? Think he'll miss it? Okay. All right. Well, we're on the bottom target. Let's take a few shots at it. Okay. Shooting tree. Oh, 2 liter. Another one. Last one of them. Okay. Well, it's no mystery. This thing still shoots really well. And again, the trigger modification, the Apex trigger that he's put in there, helps. It has good grip, and like the XDM, it feels really good to me. Both of them feel really good to me. This one with some modification would feel really good to me. Right now it doesn't necessarily, but it would. I did a little work on it. And I'd say both of these have a lighter trigger. So we will take just a couple shots maybe with each one. Let's look at the most obvious differences now. Now you can get all the specs. I'm not going to tell you how much a slide weighs on one versus the other. Don't care. These are range guns, mine by and large. If you're trying to figure out which one's going to be your carry gun, you want something as light as you can get it or something like that, I don't know, you need to go deeper somewhere, but they're all roughly the same size. Okay, for one thing. We showed you the length on the XDM is a little bit longer, but it holds 2 more rounds. They're basically 5-inch guns, 5-inch barrels. The The XDM, of course, is 5.25, I'll bet. And the Glock is, I think, 5.31 or 5.32. The barrel, they're about the same length. See, I mean, you see, there's no difference there that's going to mount anything. You got the sights all the way back on the XDM. You got a hair more sight radius, okay? Now, the M&P is a 5-inch barrel. I think it's a true 5-inch barrel. One thing, though, you get with it, you may have just a slightly shorter barrel, but look, you know, it's not enough difference to matter. You look at the front, there's a little difference, but because of where the sights are, you get a long sight radius. Actually, as long as the Glock, if not longer, in sight radius, see, because of the setting of the rear sight. Weight, I really can't tell much difference. They all seem about the same to me. You can check the weights on them. They're about the same in length. Your big difference is how they feel to you, really, and then the trigger. That's massive. Sights are all good. You can put any sights on it you want. You got adjustable sights that come on these, but most people, if they're going to be serious about competition, they're probably going to switch out the sights to something they really like. You got good sights on this, and I like the fiber optic on these. They're really quick to pick up, and you could put those on the Glock if you wanted. You got the Novak sights that come on the M&P. That's pretty nice. You know, and then you can modify triggers on any of them, lighten them, and just like the owner has done on this with that Apex trigger. This rig here, probably if I was going to have to go shoot today for money, I'd probably pick the M&P because it's got the modifications I like. It's got the Talon grips on it, and it has that trigger modification, which gives it a beautiful trigger. It's got the fiber optics, and you know, it's just ready to go for sure. Like I say, I could work on the grip on this and get sights like that maybe, and I'd be happy with that. Of course, the Glock, and then this thing is pretty much ready to go too. I might put a bigger grip on it, panel, and I bought my Talon grips on it, and I think that would help. But that's a great shooter. Breaks really nicely on that. You know, the resets. Yeah, it's a pretty nice reset too. Yeah, you got your adjustable sights. So, I mean, they're all designed for that. So none of these is junk. That's for sure. Any one of them would serve you quite well. Let me do one thing here before we wrap up, just to give you. I think I have one magazine for each one, or at least a couple of rounds for each one. Let me put a couple. This is the one I didn't. And I'm just going to shoot each one very quickly here, a few more rounds. And probably won't tell me anything different, but it's not often you get all three of these in one place at one time. And it's been kind of nice to have them all three. I definitely have a better idea about all of them. Okay, so we got those. Yeah, there we go. All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's just do a little, I'll just do a little machine gunning. Let's see if I can machine gun the Glock a little bit. And I'll need to come back up and get them, but that's okay. I'll put the mags here. So, all right. All right, let's wear out my finger here a little bit. Just this play. Yeah, that was fun. Okay. You can try to turn that into a Glock 18. That is not bad. Okay, let's try the XDM here. All right. I was losing a little bit because of what I was telling you about. I have to come back a little bit further, so it made that a little bit harder. Okay, that's fun. I think the Glock kind of felt better in that particular scenario. Okay. Now abuse that tombstone. Kill the tombstone. How's that for poetic justice? And that one works too. Interesting, it didn't feel like that one jumped as much in terms of holding it on target. I don't know. So anyway, that's three of the most popular polymer competition pistols out there. There's some others, I guess. I'm not familiar with a lot of them, but when I think of one I would choose, I would think of these three. That's for certain, and want to try them out. And again, any one of them would work. Like I said, today I'll probably take that one because it feels good and it's got everything on it I need. But being a Glock guy, I probably would give that a good chance, the Glock 34. I would probably get the grip the way I want it. And you know, I've got tons of magazines and I shoot Glocks all the time, so I would probably lean towards the Glock, maybe even over this, don't know. Then the XDM thing just shoots well and holds more rounds. So like I said, I was pretty sure that's what would happen. I wouldn't come to any kind of definitive decision. And again, you know, I have my biases, but I really don't have any biases of those three. I mean, like I said, probably if I was going to shoot today, I'd take the M&P, even though I'm a Glock guy. You know, more or less, maybe more than less, right? But they're all three good. They're great guns, and you can't go wrong with any one of them. That's just a fact. They're cool. If you're competing with one of these right now, you know, maybe make some comments and let people know what your experience is. Or maybe you've shot all three and you've competed with one or the other for a while and you've changed out, or modifications you've done to any of these three that have worked really well for you or made it a much better firearm, or you know, any of that kind of thing, because there'll probably be a lot of people interested in competition, or maybe you know, watching the video and reading some of the comments. So you know, help them out. Okay, life is good.